Hey, everybody. On today's episode of Sliding Through Dimensions, we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 3, Last Days. So, if you've never seen the show before, you can find it on Peacock. We have a Peacock subscription. If not, you can get it on Amazon for actually pretty cheap. The whole DVD set is available on there. All right, let's get into the episode.
What if you could revisit brand new worlds right here from your headphones, where anything is possible? Same shows, different perspectives. We've found the gateway.
Hey, everybody. Welcome on to Sliding Through Dimensions. We are Sliders Rewatch podcast of the 90s series Sliders. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 3, Last Days.
I always get confused because I watch it on Peacock. So it's like on my notes says Season 1, Episode 4.
Oh.
But I'm always like, yeah, no, it's 3.
It's 3.
I gotta correct that when I start writing these.
Okay. So on this episode, Quinn, Wade, and Rembrandt and the professor slide into a parallel Earth where they discover an asteroid is on collision course with the planet. Threatening to end all life, the group learns that the asteroid will impact before the next scheduled slide. Leaving them with little time to find a solution, the professor immerses himself in the local scientific community to explore the efforts to prevent the impending catastrophe. Meanwhile, Quinn, Wade seek out Quinn's doubles, hoping he might be a slider as well and have the necessary equipment to assist them in escaping this doomed world. As they race against the clock, Rembrandt, believing they won't survive, decides to enjoy his potential final days by indulging in various pleasures amidst the chaos. The team must rely on the wits and ingenuity to either avert the disaster or ensure their escape. Will they find a way? Let's find out. So the episode opens up. You know, they land on this planet. It looks like
Wade lands directly onto
On
the
the
professor.
professor.
Wouldn't they all land on him?
No, I think it's
everybody, because he makes that comment where he's all like, at least somebody.
Yeah.
Because Rembrandt's like, oh, I had to like try to swerve away or something.
Oh, not to bump into the professor.
Yeah. So they show up on this planet and like looks like nobody's around. It's pretty empty.
Yeah, no,
and
it's pretty. It seems like a calm.
Yeah, and then
chill planet.
They're just kind of like walking around, and then they see this couple like making out on the bench.
Just now, the second episode that instantly kind of starts off with
like some sort of like
kissing.
PDA.
Yeah.
If it's not Wade, it's somebody else.
They're all like sex. Well, you know what?
No,
very odd thought, a thought I had about that. So the professor gets a random kiss from a lady in the beginning of that episode, and like everything is fine. And then Wade kisses somebody, and it's like disaster for her.
Oh, and fever.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. The guy gets kissed, and it's like whatever, but the girl kisses somebody, and it's like it brings about her death, sadly.
Yeah,
or close to.
So then they're like walking down the street, and then like a cop car kind of like flies by.
Was there an accident? Was like somebody...
I'm sure there was something going on.
No,
right?
I thought the car was parked weird or something. I can't remember now.
I think there was a car that had crashed into a fire hydrant.
Okay,
and there's like
that's what I'm
water
thinking
coming out of the fire hydrant. And then they just keep walking into like I guess they get into town and turn the corner, and then they see like just a bunch of people just gather around.
Like chaos.
Yeah, like chaos.
It's a public freak out.
It looks like people looting. And then
like
people charging like crazy prices for food.
An apple was $17.
$17. And then I actually have the opening clip here. Let me play that, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so that was just kind of like the opening scene. I forgot to mention additional cast for this episode. You have one of them right there. Is Gary Nairn as Mace Moon. He was also in. He also appeared in a movie Stay Tuned with John Ritter.
Oh yeah.
He was one of the news reporters on the TV.
I remember that. That was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
I liked it.
So they show up right there, and then They
Can
find
we
out.
talk about how there's 2 days left to live and that parking attendant is still going to work?
Is a parking attendant?
That's
Yeah,
who
yeah. So
gives
just
them
giving them
the
gives them the ticket.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, well, I guess it's like the idea that I guess she still has hope that like
Maybe
something's
she's
gonna
just like, I
happen.
gotta smell like
Yeah.
live. I don't know. I
Maybe
wouldn't
she
be going to
doesn't
work.
like have anything, and that's like her thing. That's like her job is her thing.
Oh, I'm sure there would be people. That's true.
Yeah, I'm
That
sure
will
there's
just
people
go to
like that.
work no matter what.
Not me.
But I'm like, I mean, I understand because I think they said they found out 3 months ago
Mm.
that
okay.
the asteroid was coming in and was going to hit Earth. So I understand if it's still going to work 3 months out because you're like, well, I still need to like
Make income.
make income for the last 3 months, or like, so I still need to survive for the last 3 months. And maybe you're thinking like, oh, I guess we don't really know. But by 2 days, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it's not looking good. I don't think
I know.
I think we're all gonna die.
And you're giving out tickets, like
Well, that's why like
That's her job.
That guys are like,
but
tear the sucker up.
it'd
I
be
don't care.
different if you were like, I think like a daycare worker and people were still dropping off kids like that. I can kind of see, but like a parking attendant, like you're just giving out tickets.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you doing this? The world's
He's
gonna
like,
end.
look, this is all I know. I'm gonna give him a ticket. All right. So then, they find out there's an asteroid coming, and it's gonna be there before
Like-
the slide time.
They have 72 hours.
They have 72 and
That's
the
it
what?
says.
So
It's
I'm
like 2
assuming
days.
it's like
Is it? It's 3.
Two
It's
days.
3 days.
Well, 3 days, but 2 days until the asteroid
Right,
comes.
yeah.
oh yeah. So like there's some overlap there, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be good. And so then
I'm gonna
Wait.
ask.
Wade and Quinn and the professor are kind of like they're not as freaked out. They are, but I feel like Rembrandt's taking it a lot harder than them.
I think.
Well, of course, the professor thinks I'm smart enough. I'm gonna solve this. Don't worry.
I think Rembrandt has like the most like fair reaction of like now that I think about it,
Yeah,
I'm
he
like, how has
does.
no one ever gotten like angry at Quinn? Like this is the first like
I think this
full
is the
freak
first
out
time.
you ever see
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
kind of like being upset about like what's happened is basically his fault. Like it is his
Yeah.
fault.
And it's fair because Rembrandt is the only. Well, I don't know. I guess no. Rembrandt's the only one that doesn't.
We remember we talked about
didn't
the portal did it because he
decide.
was black.
Yeah,
They just-
like he
they
didn't
needed
decide
the
to start
cast.
sliding.
He knew the
so-
cast needed something.
So everybody else is like, all right, well, I kind of like this. I decided to do this.
Yeah.
Rembrandt's just
He
like,
just
I
kinda
was
dragged
just trying
into
to sing,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
this thing like swallowed me up.
I was about to jumpstart my career again, man.
I know,
Yeah.
but as soon as I heard that though, I was like, why not just slide early?
Again?
Yeah,
Yeah, wait, can they not do that? Can they do that? I thought
No, they're
the
not
device
supposed to
gets messed up.
because then you're like, I don't even know.
Well,
if
you
it
get
would
lost
work.
even more.
guess.
Yeah, like
I
you
think
never
they're
know.
just-
That could have been the trick to get you back
I
to
don't
your
know
original
if you can
coordinates.
necessarily activate it. Well, I guess they did before, but
Also,
I don't know.
if they do get home, don't get to leave.
No, because you could decide not to slide, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can decide. To
But then
stay.
why didn't they decide that like on the oil planet in the last episode? Why didn't they
Well,
just?
because I think they're so early.
They're
that
still
they still
hopeful that they're gonna get
Yeah.
home.
Okay.
Like
So
they still
I
want to get
feel
to
like
their
they don't want to
family.
activate it just to like mess it up, mess their chances up even more so than they already are.
I guess, but I'm just like, just leave.
You're
I feel
far
like,
down.
guess what, guys? We're leaving right now.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
I mean, when there's like 5 minutes left, you'd
I
be
know.
like,
Just be
"Yeah,
like, look,
fuck
we'll
it."
drive it. But I
Yeah.
thought it was funny. I'm like, yes, of course. The professor is like,
He's
Yeah.
locked in.
maybe they just haven't. Like, maybe they just need some sort of.
Well, yeah, he decides to go and see what the
like if
the
your
scientific.
name's Maximilian Arturo,
I'd
I'd be like, hey.
any problem.
So he decides to go and see what the scientists are up to kind of prevent it, and then Wade and Quinn. Well, Quinn kind of wants to.
He wants
I
to
think
see
he
if
wants.
he can. He wants to see if they can slide again through that.
No,
Through other.
Quinn just decided to go with Wade.
Well, they decided to go look for their parents
I
because
thought
that's
it
what
was-
she wanted
yeah.
to do. So
I guess
and
he
then
was like, I'll go look for
Rembrandt
my
was like
family.
kind of like I don't. He's like I'm gonna go and fucking do my own thing.
Now, where's this? I was thinking about it. Or do they all kind of inhibit different stages of
Just
Grief?
dealing
like
with like
grief? Yeah,
maybe.
because you have Rembrandt with anger.
yeah
You have the professor, which you can kind of
Denial.
consider bargaining.
bargaining.
Like he's
Denial.
trying to like
Yeah.
fix. Quinn can maybe be denial because he didn't really say anything. And then Wade is kind of like acceptance or
just like
sadness, like acceptance.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of, I don't know if they did that intentionally, but that's how it came across to me.
Mhm.
So then they all decide to like kind of split up and then meet back there, like the day of, like what
It was
They
like
said-
what,
they said,
like
like, a
an
time.
hour or two before.
something like that.
I guess so.
They had
I
such
think
like
he
a
said 5
specific
o'clock.
time.
I think he said 5 o'clock, but
Was
I'm
it
not.
5 or 7? Because
I don't know.
Do we know what time the
the
asteroid was
the
gonna
asteroid
get
get
there?
there. Well,
I think
I mean,
there
they give you
was-
the hour. I mean, 2 days. So then you would look at your clock from when you've seen that.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I
I
guess
think they were gonna meet like a couple hours before it actually hit, just so they could be together.
Yeah.
If they weren't able to
Yeah.
find a
I guess
solution.
you wouldn't want to be. Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, that's like the closest thing they have to like
Family.
family,
Well,
or,
because
like
they're all
people they
from the same
know.
world, yeah.
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 So
They literally came into this world together, and they were gonna leave together.
yeah.
Nice.
So do we instantly go into professors
Um,
split up, or is it
Who
I
Rembrandt?
knows?
can't
Is it
remember who it
Rembrandt?
jumps
might-
to.
It
I
might
th-
be Rembrandt.
I
It
think
might
it jumps to
be.
Rembrandt. He's
He's going to the church. He's at that church. He's
yeah. He
trying-
goes and then he kind of talks to that reverend.
Oh yeah, and then the
He's-
reverend tries to give him like a job to help
Yeah,
feed
to
the
help
people. And he's like, I'd rather.
No, isn't that later?
No,
No, that's like
This
pretty
was early
soon
on,
after,
like in
'cause
the day.
Yeah, he
Oh,
goes to do
I
that.
thought that was. Oh, then he goes. Okay,
He declines
okay,
because it's not
you're
really
right,
his
yeah.
like skill. He wants to do
Yeah.
what he's like used to, so singing. I guess is the idea. He's gonna try and sing somewhere.
I don't know. I think he just wants to see if he wants to do like something a little bit more. I don't know. He's not really into the idea of helping out right now. He just wants to think about himself, I guess, for a little bit,
I guess so.
which is understandable.
I guess, right?
So then,
I think he wants
is
to
Now we
him
switch over
walking
to the
Some
To
sort
the
of
professor.
normalcy.
to the professor, and then he.
Do we or do we go to Quinn? There's Quinn after.
I think Quinn's after. I think we
Quinn's
get the
after.
Quinn's
professor.
after.
Yeah.
Quinn's after you find out about the bomb. Then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, like the plans of it.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. No,
Professor
you're
Before
right.
we get to
oh
the
no, you know
professor.
what? I think it is the professor first
Yeah.
because my
Yeah.
note is about the professor first.
Yeah, that he shows up at that little like
And so-
conference.
So they're
Yeah.
talking, and then we get
Yeah.
the name of the asteroid, Yeoman.
Oh, well, I didn't even figure.
Oh,
out.
did
I
they-
didn't
they
even-
actually
they
named
named it Yeoman. It's
What's that in reference
what is it?
to?
I don't know. Oh, it's Yeoman 2956.
Oh, that's
is
what
the
they
whole
called it.
name. I don't know what
Okay.
it's a reference to.
I
It's
wonder if
just
Yeoman's
like
the person who
that was just the
who
name.
founded it.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
They
Oh, yeah,
usually
yeah.
name it
Probably,
after
yeah.
whoever discovered
I
it.
didn't even catch that. Hold on.
No,
Now
yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
say the name
Google
of
this.
it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting to hear the name of it. It's spelled Yeomen, but they say it like Yeoman.
Yeomen.
Or sorry, MAN.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeoman. Okay.
Yeoman.
So then, like in the midst of the conference, you get Conrad Benish Jr.
Who was
coming
a
back again.
student.
Yeah, he was a student in the first season, the first episode. Yeah, he's also a
Originally-
friend of Quinn, I think, in that kind of.
I don't know.
Well,
I feel
maybe
like
more
that,
just a
that Asian
classmate.
dude is more like his friend.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Professor is like, oh, he's like a buddy of yours. Like, I'm guessing he
Oh.
knew him somehow.
I feel like maybe they were all buddies because it was such a small classroom.
that's
But I'm
true.
sure
It was,
everyone is.
yeah.
Originally, I thought it was another version of Quinn. I thought it was Quinn once again with long hair, but just with a goatee, and like that was it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
When he first was running, I was like, oh, is this world
Yeah.
Quinn? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
so
And then you see it's like another dude.
I was
Which
like,
in
oh,
my
shit.
head, I was like, I think I'm probably supposed to recognize this guy.
yeah, it's
I made the assumption it was just like a student. Like, oh, I think I maybe might have seen him as like in the
As
classroom.
we somewhere in the background.
it was Jason Gaffney who played him, Benish, and I guess he was also in that movie Alive, the
Oh,
plane
the
crash
plane?
one with the rugby team.
The only thing I really know about that movie is I think there's a Simpsons episode where that guy
Oh, they
goes,
make
"Man
reference.
alive, there are men alive here." Like that's all I think of for some reason.
And then
don't know.
I when I originally looked him up on IMDb, it didn't have any credits for him. And then like a couple days before, like this weekend, like stuff popped up, and I was like, "What the heck?"
They knew.
And then I guess
They're
he was
like,
also.
somebody searched and we need
I guess
to add
he
facts.
didn't do too much acting after that. He did that movie. He was on Stargate SG-1 an episode,
Mm.
and he was also like, and then he came like involved like in the crew setting because he was on the
Oh, okay.
additional crew for Catch and Release.
Oh,
with Jennifer Garner and that,
yeah.
So it looks like he took
Crew job?
like
Kevin
like-
Smith, right? Was in
yeah,
there too.
Kevin Smith
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's actually
it's a
I
small
like the
part.
movie actually. It's
Oh,
Catch
Timothy
and
Oliphant.
Oh,
is
yeah,
it?
that's
well.
true.
It's about
Yeah.
dogs. Like when you
Catch
say
and
that,
Release?
it seems like it'd be about
No.
like animals in some
No,
way.
it's about a woman who's dealing with the death of her fiance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was, I think, a catch and release fisherman.
It's
Oh.
It's like a drama comedy.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
would say
gosh.
that. But it's a good movie. It's check it out if you can. You got a couple
So
free hours.
so yeah, so Benish comes up and starts saying, "Oh, what about the atomic bomb?"
Yeah.
So I guess on this world,
The
the
bomb.
atomic bomb was never created.
Well,
Yeah. Oh,
it
was.
never. It didn't.
It got
failed.
plans.
Yeah.
Roosevelt decided not to use it.
Oh, is that what it
It
was?
says, he says that Roosevelt decided not to use it, and then you kind of learn that extended the war by 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. And then I thought that also
was he not? Because I always mentioned that Truman was president when that decision was made. So
I
is
guess in
Roosevelt
this-
president in this universe, or
Or
I don't know, like timeline-wise, like if Roosevelt was still president when the bomb was
When the
chosen
bomb-
to be used.
Oh, like when after they made the whole schematics. and
Yeah.
everything?
and then I guess you find out that that also Einstein had like purposely messed up his calculations so
Yes.
nobody would figure it out.
Oh,
also-
later on you feel
Yeah.
yeah. But what was the original? It was something like something was like in the wrong section or something. I'm like,
I don't know.
I
I
really
didn't
should
even
pay
know.
attention
I
more
wasn't
to like the
like-
science of it.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one got a little like science heavy on that.
This
stuff.
was
It was like
I was wondering like how much like background research they do into that.
Oh,
Like,
I'd
do
be
they-
interested to know?
Yeah,
like
how
'cause you know
true is the
how-
science used?
yeah, because you know how Futurama will like they had like science people to like help them
to,
with like the
consult
actual
on.
yeah.
yeah.
So it would be really nice to know.
I feel like
how
they
much-
probably looked into the history of it and got some stuff. I don't know.
There's a
how
lot of really
accurate-
high hopes for what an 80s TV
It's
show.
not 80s.
No, it's 90s,
Oh,
90s,
shit.
man.
A 90s TV
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
He's like, I don't know about the 60s.
I know. He's back in the 1920s. I don't know if they really do.
So then he Benish has he actually has the bomb, like what in
He
his
has all
possession.
of
He has
these?
everything, all
He
the
has the
schematics.
plans?
Everything.
And
Oh
I'm-
yeah, because he has the. Oh yeah, I think he just took it from the museum because I think he is sort of like he's a well-known like physicist.
Oh,
Or he
in
is
that
a
world?
physicist in that world. 'Cause
Yeah.
he brings it up. So I guess he just asked the museum, and I'm sure at this point the museum
Maybe he
doesn't
just raided
care.
the museum, right?
I don't know. He
No,
might have
you
asked,
think
and the
he-
museum just doesn't care because
That's
the
true,
world's
'cause-
gonna answer like,
yeah.
sure, take this.
I guess
Oh,
to
yeah,
them it's
that
just like an
shows how
empty
little
shell,
I
like
know.
Yeah,
worthless.
like was it worth?
This
to
shows
them?
how little I know of like president timeline.
Who was
It
president?
was President Truman who decided to drop the bomb.
Oh, okay. So then I guess in this universe, Roosevelt is president,
and maybe
or
he
was
ran-
president, was for longer.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess so.
So then does it cut back to Rembrandt at this point?
No, I think we come back now to Quinn and Wade.
Oh, Quinn and Wade. Okay,
And they
so
get
they
to
get
his
to his house, and you find out that Wade had found out that on this earth her mom doesn't exist, like didn't exist.
Oh,
That's
really?
why. So they end up back at his place,
Oh,
and then she's kind of like, "Oh,
Oh,
well,
but
how do you even know this is your house?"
Roosevelt did green light the Manhattan Project.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay, no, then okay. So then
How
Truman
did
was
he
still
feel
president.
about $500 million for the project? Yeah, he was
Wow,
for it.
inflation was so much.
That's how little I know of presidents. Okay,
Okay.
now we know.
So then
Like next time I'll look this up.
They
before,
get
so I don't
to-
look like such a fool.
so then
So we
they get to
Quinn's
Quinn's house, and then she's all like, "Oh, how do you even know this is your house?" And then he goes to the fridge, like, "Oh, look, there's pictures of me on the fridge."
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's right.
And then they's like, "Oh, they're I'm probably up and
He's
visiting
all, "That's
with
me, it's
their
visiting
grandmother
family."
or something like visiting
Oh,
family."
is that what?
I
thought they just
actually
went straight to the basement.
actually-
Like,
oh, do
have
you
the clip for
it?
that one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's a little bit shorter. It's like less than just under a minute. So we'll play the clip. So there you go. They went down to his basement, and then
Turns out he
when I
was-
first saw the episode, I was all like, "It's a bunch of dinosaur stuff."
I know when they pulled it off, I was like, "Oh no, this one's a paleontologist."
Yeah.
Because
Or-
that was one of his like.
But that was one of the things. Remember in his rooms, you see.
Yeah, he
like,
likes
in
one
the
of the
first one.
so I'm
Yeah.
assuming we kind of get like other episodes later on.
Where
We
he,
see
like,
he went off to that route instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he says he goes, "This hasn't been used in years."
Uh-huh.
And
Oh.
then,
So then
but the asteroid happened 3 months, or they knew. I would keep thinking 3 months. I think.
So
that's what they
I
said.
think like his thing is like he's not sure if he actually used it to slide anywhere. Maybe he just like came up with it and just never used it.
I thought maybe he was like so
Oh.
advanced and so much smarter than our Wade that he made the slider
Quinn.
even. Oh, sorry, Quinn.
You're
God
always
damn
mixing
it!
them up.
I don't know
He
why.
looks like a Wayne to me.
They
I
both
don't
have the
know.
same haircut.
Yeah, why does she insult his haircut in the kid picture?
She's like, look at you, you're ugly. when
She's
you're a
like,
kid."
nice haircut.
No.
I'm like, he was a kid. I don't think he chose that haircut.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like because his hair kind of similar.
Similar, but shorter.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
she's
was
just like, oh, you
definitely
never
shorter.
changed your hairdo.
Oh, maybe.
Well, I just
know.
thought that, like, yeah, this Quinn is
just so
just
much
smarter. Yeah,
smarter.
he was like, he got it done faster.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I like his reasoning is he just wants to see dinosaurs in
I
real
know.
life. By the way,
He's just
he
like,
wants to do
I
time
really-
travel. That's what he wants.
Yeah,
he wants to do
was
time
he was
travel.
trying to, we later find out that he was trying to time travel.
And
Yeah.
then our Quinn makes fun of him
I know.
for saying like, "Oh, time travel is
He's
impossible."
first of all, I know you can't do that.
I
No.
was
Quinn's an
like,
idiot.
what?
I'm like, you're literally going into different dimensions, and you're like, he's an idiot for thinking he can go through time. But yeah, he's just like a little kid. Like, I just want to see dinosaurs. I just think that'd be really
He's
cool.
so passionate.
Yes, lizard.
So then they do find out. Well, I guess he's like hopeful now that they're gonna be able to get out of there using Quinn's equipment
Yeah.
and try to slide out of there hopefully in time.
Does that not mess up the trajectory more?
No, I think
ruin
he
it.
I think with the equipment he was supposed to be able to fix the timer to actually get them home. He would have been able to find their home coordinates.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
I just thought he was gonna slide
Yeah,
again
you know
and
what? I
then
didn't
ruin
think about
it
that, where I'm
even
like, yeah, you
more.
have you do already have a timer. Just
Yeah.
use that. But I guess I don't know. Maybe he knows some sort
A
of
lot
like
of faith.
math.
Yeah.
He's all he needs is a chalkboard, and he can get them home.
Yes,
Be
that's
fine.
what I need. And my brontosaurus right here on the table.
I know.
He's
Well,
gonna
like,
help me.
no, I guess they did say like the timer got messed up after that, like first or second episode, right? Like something
Yeah,
happened to it, I
just
forget.
like they used so much energy. Like it even got like a little like cracked open.
That's true. Maybe that's what it is.
Mhm.
Do we get to Rembrandt after this?
Like at
And he-
nighttime? It's like
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just,
nighttime.
like, walking
now
down the
it's really
street.
like chaos
No,
in the
it's-
street.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's walking down the street and you get like these guys roll up in this car and
So
they start
sleazy.
chatting
Yeah.
chatting him up and they're all like, hey, we got this girl
was
from
worried
the
for him.
hospital.
I know.
Oh,
And,
she's from the hospital?
Yeah, she had a
no,
nurse's
was
outfit
dressed- She
on.
was wearing a nurse's
Oh.
But I don't know if she was
Oh.
actually like from the hospital because she had like this like whole like
She had a
lingerie
whole
thing
lingerie.
on.
Maybe that's just her thing, bro.
underneath.
Yeah.
She was, you know what? She was probably sleeping with a doctor. So
Probably.
she was like, you know what, now.
And then so like one of the guys like busts open one of the windows and gets her like a dress.
Like says her
Wait,
size.
The guy. The
Oh, the
guy
guy
like
says the
get
size.
her. He looks at her and he's like, get her like a size 6 or whatever.
He used to be in fashion.
I'm assuming he got the size right because I
Yeah,
think
like,
you
she put
see
it
her
on.
in
You
it.
see her in it,
afterwards.
yeah.
She
So
did.
then like they start talking around. They're like, hey, you want to?
They're going to a
Yeah, they're going to a party up in the hills.
It's always
Yeah.
up in the hills.
Up in the hills,
Always
man.
up
That's
in
where the
hills.
good
That's where the
parties are.
at.
Apparently
Yeah.
You got
so.
if you got money, you got a big house up in
Up
the hills.
That's true.
So he decides to go with them, and they
And
head
it's
up.
a complete rager. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Do we instantly go to the
I don't know if it
party?
actually-
Don't we switch back to the professor and then we go back and see him at the party singing?
no, because my
Is
next
it
note
instantly?
is about somebody drive. First of all, the amount of motorcycles in this episode. Like that first scene, there's like all these motorcycles. In the party scene, another
Oh, it's the
dude
guy
driving
trying
a
to drive
motorcycle.
motorcycle
Yeah,
through the
in the
crowd.
party, and then completely ruins all that. Like they had like a whole setup of food, ruins all of it
I know, man.
because he crashes into that table.
Yeah.
And then Rembrandt meets the couple.
Yeah, that's
Oh no, the woman. The
he meets the
Is it
woman
the
first.
woman
It's Caroline Fontaine, played by Jennifer Hedrick.
I like
um,
that name.
Fontaine. It makes me think of Bioshock.
I was gonna say.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I know it.
So so you get Caroline Fontaine, and she's like, don't even worry about it. I'm
She's
not
like,
even
"This
worried
is my
about it.
house.
It's
Yeah,
my
I'm
house.
not-
Let
don't
him
even
let
worry
him
about
fuck it up."
And then we see like the husband, and then
Yeah.
at first I thought they were both sketchy because they
Alan,
see that girl.
Alan Fontaine. Well, you know what?
I think they just had an agreement.
an agreement, like it's the end
Yeah.
of the world. If you want to hook up with somebody, that's fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
why
get
I
it.
thought that's why she was going with Rembrandt.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna
Originally.
go.
Like, that was
I
the
didn't
whole
even
point.
think of that.
Oh.
I thought they were. I was like, oh my!
Yeah.
I was
No, because they
worried
kind
we
of give
were
each other
getting-
a look.
Yeah,
I thought we
we're
were-
swapping.
Yeah.
I was worried that what was gonna happen is like Rembrandt was gonna like find out this couple was like a murder couple.
Yeah, it
now.
did seem kind of like a like.
That would have been
Like
good.
they-
I would have liked that actually.
Like,
That would've
I
been
was
good.
Like, oh, no,
That would've been good.
Rembrandt,
Either
you know,
way,
like-
it's still a very dark turn we get to see happen with that
Oh,
couple.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, like,
that's-
it is
a little
like-
bit later.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
later. Yeah.
So
And then I think you know what I think then we find out that Quinn is actually was a time traveler. That's when he said. Then we
a
go
time
back to Quinn.
traveler.
Or,
We
no,
actually get
that's when we go back
confirmation to that?
Quinn.
When did we go back to the professor? We go back to the professor.
Back to the professor after this. So after
Is this
after
when-
the couple thing, that's when we go back.
to Quinn,
to
and then
Quinn
he's
and
working
Wade.
on the machine.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's when
they,
he does
they power
that's
it
when
up
he realizes like, oh, he's on a slider. He was trying to
to
again
time travel.
that
Oh, the
Quinn
time
loves
travel.
to record himself too.
Oh yeah, they
because
were
he
looking at
had,
his
like,
had his video logs.
You
Yeah.
have to. It's for science.
And then
I guess so.
so
It's
when
like
he starts
Doc.
like recalibrating all his machinery and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like, all right, let's see if we can get this to work.
And he's
So-
like really working on it, and then all of a sudden Wade starts like lecturing him. I guess maybe it hits her.
Oh, she might die.
Yeah, because then she was just like, you haven't said anything, like you haven't shared your feelings about this.
yeah.
And in my head, I'm like,
he's trying to get you out of
he's
there.
trying to like
save you.
work. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I thought that was
she was kind of annoying a little bit.
in that
like,
in that scene. I felt like
I'm like,
that was kind of
he's
like,
trying to like try to get you guys out of there.
but maybe it was just because maybe it hit her. And
Yeah.
she was just like, this is crazy. Instead of being now that she's not seeing her family,
yeah.
This is
and then
when-
you see reports like there's some peace going on, but then there's also some like
Oh,
violence.
we get is that with them or is that the professor where we get to hear about Israel and Palestine?
That was
We get-
with them.
That's
Or
with them?
maybe that's like a segue into the professor because
Mhm.
I wrote down, yeah, like Belfast is like in peace with the Catholic. Oh no, they were Catholic, sorry.
You look like you're apologizing to me.
I'm sorry, Xander. No, but there's like peace there, but then there was violence again, I think in the Middle East, was it?
Israel and Palestine.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
that's where
they-
like this huge things going on.
Yeah,
kinda
like they started.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean.
Yeah, and then I forgot to touch on that. Benish and the professor decided that they were gonna build
Oh,
the bomb.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was like,
He
I'm
looks
gonna
at the
fix this
blueprint.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I think we go back to the professor, and it's the professor
Yeah,
and
now they're
Benish
in-
working
yeah.
on.
He's
kinda
doing
like
the
in work
numbers.
mode. Yeah, he's
It's him
He's
in
trying-
it's him in work
Yes!
mode.
Yeah.
And it's just
because
Arturo.
I don't know. Yeah, what
Is
was
it working?
Benish doing? He
He
wasn't
was
doing.
Nothing.
putting on music.
Yeah,
he was doing
drinking
he was on
his,
Ox. He was
on
on
the
Ox.
Ox, man.
He was drinking his
Got
cream
this shit.
sodas
I know.
while the
The kid
professor was
drank.
doing all.
That's green soda.
So then, like, you see Benish like, oh, this is gonna be great. Let's think of all the stuff we can
Oh,
get. From all the
but no,
I do enjoy
but-
this conversation a lot.
Yeah,
We
like
kinda
about-
get to go
This was
into-
interesting. I thought,
nuclear
yeah.
power, nuclear cars, and then
Cars.
that's when the professor's like, well, what are you gonna do with all the nuclear waste?
Mhm.
Well, put it in a rocket and shoot
He
it at the
seemed-
sun.
There's somebody who said he was like he was about to get a doctorate, or
I thought he was a physicist. He makes it sound like he is a physicist. Like that is
I
just
think he
Yeah.
is really smart in this one, but I just maybe
Well,
he just
he
works at a
had-
different.
he has to have been smart in the regular universe
Yeah.
because that class is like
Is
a
a pretty
few
high-
it's like
yeah.
a high standard.
But yeah, I thought like for him being,
I think
he
he
was
just
quick
works
to
differently than the
True, I don't
professor.
know. But he's got that music going, and the professor's about to like
Just gonna slap
go
him.
like crazy.
He
yeah.
raises his hand.
Doesn't he tell him to turn it off? He's like, is it turned on?
He's
Yeah,
like, I
music
got
off.
you. Putting on some mellow
He
music.
flips, he
Yeah.
flips the tape,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing. He's
Like,
like,
oh god damn it!
yeah.
He's like, oh, but he seems to be doing everything.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like
just,
doing
like,
the calculations.
doing all the-
calculations.
Yeah.
and then he's kind of like in like hearing Benish talk about like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
that was like a
realizes-
very I don't know, like a not just very uncool kind of for him to straight go into like. So it's nice, right? Because he starts thinking about like, oh, imagine like all the
things we
energies
can
that
do.
are gonna
And then
be
he also
like,
starts thinking of all the bad shit.
yeah. Then
like,
he immediately
Yeah.
goes to like
we can hold the world
can, like,
hostage.
yeah,
It is incredibly dark. And
Yeah.
No, it does.
it's like that. I think they do it every episode where they do get into this very like serious idea every
Oh yeah, like
episode,
some sort of
you know,
like moral
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah.
And that's when you start to see that the professor is like regretting doing
like
this.
making this. He has
Yeah.
that moment that Oppenheimer has in the movie. where
True,
he's
yeah.
like,
And he's like,
He's like, I shouldn't have done this.
And it's funny because in the first episode, like he quotes Oppenheimer.
oh, he
with,
does.
like,
He
yeah.
makes the
Well, the
Worlds.
Destroyer of Worlds thing.
Yeah.
That's true, he does. You're right.
So then he like so Benish is like, oh, I gotta go take take a piss. All these cream sodas I'm drinking.
Splatters too much for his
And then the
bladder.
professor decides to like take some of like I guess one of the key
Takes one,
plans,
yeah,
He said
one of
key
the
part,
key
yeah.
part, and like
Yeah.
tucks it away. He's like, oh, at least if he doesn't have the whole thing, he can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it
Jumps back
jumps-
to Rembrandt. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
when we get that really
No,
weird scene.
okay. So then the Quinn
Yeah,
trying
that-
to cheat doesn't happen
that-
yet.
That
no,
scene
that's
is
after.
That's
after.
after,
Because
okay.
then we
Yeah.
got, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so then it jumps back, and then you see like
he walks into a room. Just
They
like,
go into,
he
like,
goes,
a
it's like a
private-
second. No, it's just like the second
Oh, second
floor,
floor.
and
Oh,
it seems
okay.
like I guess there's like a curtain or like
I thought
like
it
a
was.
weird
See again, I
curtain.
thought it was like a kill room because I think it was like a plastic curtain or
really, I
something.
thought it was
Wasn't
like a
privacy
sheer.
area.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Was it a
it's
sheer-
like a white?
it is
sheer
like a white. I
curtain.
remember it being white, and I was like, this
Well,
is really
maybe-
weird.
Yeah, I
Curtain.
thought I remembered like a rustle, like if it was kind of plastic.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so
like,
they go
seen
back
to it.
there, and then you see Alan Fontaine with that girl, and then those two guys that Rembrandt came with,
Yeah.
And
they're playing Russian roulette.
roulette. It's such
Yes.
a dark turn, and I'm like,
so
oh
weird.
my god.
And then it's almost like for a minute there, I was like, oh my god, I think the husband wants the wife to die
Yeah.
because she's, and then because then that's when I think that crosses the line then
For
the
Rembrandt.
wife.
And for Rembrandt,
for
too.
Rembrandt,
Rembrandt's all
yeah.
like, "What the hell?"
He's
is
just
going
like,
on?
this
He's all like,
is-
"Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, this is your wife."
Yeah, after he
He's
was like,
all
"You
like-
try it first." I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, this." I was like, "He's gonna kill the wife so he could just be with this blonde lady."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, this
So
is getting
then
real dark."
that's when Rembrandt decides to get out of there and takes
And then I thought to
Takes
myself,
the-
"Oh, it's not
takes
the,
the wife,
couple
Caroline,
that's
with him.
sketchy. It's the husband that's sketchy."
Isn't that that he's? I guess one. Not. I don't know if I would use the word sketchy, but just more like he's like kind of like
Awful.
kind of like
person.
over it now. Yeah, he's awful. Yeah.
Like he really went dark.
Yeah. He took advantage of the situation. It's like, I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah. Oh, it was awful.
Yeah. So then Rembrandt decides to get out of there.
And he takes the wife.
And he
to
takes the
him,
wife.
which
He's
was
like,
nice.
I'm gonna get you out of this bad situation. Because I think, don't you hear a gunshot?
Afterwards.
Oh, did you
yeah.
hear a
Leaving,
gunshot?
when they're leaving.
When they're-
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it
Rembrandt's
was.
gonna take the gun, and then the guy's like, "Hey, that's mine."
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like,
He,
"Fine, whatever."
he left it, and then I think you hear a gunshot after. So I think one of them died.
Oh yeah, I guess. I
Uh,
mean, they would
Oh,
have to
maybe.
be.
I guess. Yeah.
I could have.
I thought.
have to
I
look
think.
into
I
it.
just remember it going like right to the next scene.
Oh,
Maybe.
right
You
back,
don't-
and then we get back
you don't
to
get
Quinn
to-
and Wade.
But I'm
Yeah.
sure something probably happened.
Oh yeah, no.
So they kept on playing. They shot the nurse.
Oh no.
So then from there, I think it cuts back to Wade and Quinn, right? And then they're
Yeah.
trying to like.
And then they're having like,
No, this is before that. This is like
They're, like,
they're
doing
testing
dinner.
out. No.
Oh,
That's after. They
Oh,
like Quinn configures like its machine and he turns on the.
I would like.
thing.
We get to see these huge ass motherboards. come out
Yeah,
by the way of
he's
the
pulling
machine.
out
They are huge
motherboards.
as fuck.
Oh,
And Ridley,
I didn't,
like,
I
Ridley
didn't
doing
realize
I was
that.
like,
You're right, yeah.
Jesus
So then
Christ.
he gives the machine a spin to see if it's gonna work, and it starts going on, and then the whole power just burns out, like the whole like circuit box just like
yeah,
blows,
that's
and
true.
then he realizes like, fuck, that's it.
It's
There's nothing I
always
can do.
like-
It's done.
He's always taking out power grids. Always.
Yeah. So then after that, like, he's kind of like, oh well.
And then I guess they're
Yeah,
like, all
they're
right,
like,
let's
all right,
just
let's
make
just-
dinner.
let's just
and
make
this
dinner.
is gonna be kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is
Then they start like flirting with each other.
And they start dancing.
yeah, I
Yeah.
actually
Start
have
slow dancing.
I have
And
that
then they
clip.
like almost kiss for a little bit.
Yeah, let me I think actually they do kiss. So I have the clip right here.
So, yeah,
And
we
then
get
they
our first,
actually
like-
kiss.
Officially.
Yeah.
Well, I think for the second time.
No, the other way that she kissed. Oh wait.
No, the other Quinn that kisses that was other Quinn. That was Quinn B that kisses her. They haven't kissed.
I thought
They haven't
did.
kissed.
They haven't
No,
kissed.
are you thinking about when other Quinn, from the first episode, kisses her? Because other Quinn does kiss her. Remember? After he comes
Oh,
back
that's
to his
right. That's
mom.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
but
Okay,
they
yeah, that's
have-
what I'm thinking
When,
of. Okay.
like, and before,
So yeah, this is like their first official kiss.
and usually you
Yes.
have to wait like seasons into a show
Yeah.
to get them to kiss.
How long
And
did it
this
take in Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, there you
for them
go.
Oh,
to kiss?
man, I
Do
don't
you
know.
think?
I can't remember. It's been so long. So and then the professor comes and kills the mood, man.
I know.
He's all like,
he blocked them.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't block them though, because he tells them their plan, and then he like walks out of the room. For
And
a
then they
second,
were about to
and
start kissing again.
They immediately start kissing
Yeah,
right
yeah.
after.
that's
But
true.
also, like, he doesn't. It doesn't even phase the professor. He just goes in. He's like, "Hey, let's go.
We gotta go.
He just keeps like, you have to be my numbers, dude. This food.
And then he
annoying,
just busts in. He's like, "Oh, food! I haven't
Oh,
seen food
yeah,
in days."
A day.
Or something like that.
That's
Then he just starts eating
true.
all their food, and he's like, "All right, he's like, we
And then
figured
he's like,
out."
"You haven't." And then there's that line that they say where they're like, "We've been busy,"
Oh yeah,
and I'm
making
like,
dinner.
"Oh, I know." And they immediately go back. Yeah,
Barely.
as soon as he like,
Walks
away,
out the door.
yeah,
They start kissing
Yeah.
again.
they immediately go back to like kissing.
So then the professor's like, "Oh, come on, put
We're gonna launch the bomb.
a sack in it." And so then they're gonna. They, like I said, they weren't paying attention to the news. I guess because they couldn't, because they had no power in the house. So, and then as soon as
They
they
travel
finish
to
in
the Federal Space Agency.
is that where they
FSA?
travel?
That's where they. That was the building. Yeah, that's
Oh,
where
wow.
they went. Yeah.
Oh, to like to go and finish the calculations, right?
Yeah.
Before they load it up onto the missile to shoot it
But
at
he
the
already
asteroid.
had all of this set. He's like, "I need it for the missile."
They
Have
Like
we,
got it
the
done
thing
quick.
was in motion.
Have we gotten the bomb name yet? I like the bomb name a lot.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
the fat boy.
yeah.
So we get a mix of the fat man and the little boy.
Yeah, I have the
Oh,
clip for that
okay.
later, like where Ben
Oh,
comes
it's like
in.
then? Okay.
Yeah,
But no,
bef-
he
before we-
originally says it when he shows them, I think, the schematics. He's like, "Fat boy," and he was like, "The bomb was named Fat Man, not Fat Boy."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a clip I
Yeah.
I
have.
do enjoy that. I like the idea of like combining both names of the bombs of the two
I
bombs.
didn't even
Oh,
clock
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
I
then-
just thought he just was saying boy.
No, it's
I was thinking like Fat Boy Slim or something. I don't know.
So I don't think Rembrandt's there, right? He's not there
No,
yet.
he's giving
He's
out
at-
food. To
he ended up going back to the
Yeah.
church and helping out along with Caroline.
Yeah, they were
um,
like passing out.
They were passing out food and
Mhm.
to the needy.
needy, and then it cuts to the scene where they're back at Mace
That's
Moon's
insane.
the TV shop.
Oh,
watch
are they
the-
there? And then he. 'Cause
Yeah, they there.
I know he.
Oh
he
yeah, because
talks
she
to
was
the.
worried about because Wade starts to wonder like where Rembrandt
Oh,
was.
okay.
Yeah, and this is just before they meet back up with Rembrandt. This the clip where Benish and them, they're all watching the stuff on TV.
That
I
was
kind of find it
gross,
funny that
I
like
mean.
Arturo himself doesn't kind of get the idea. It's like, oh, it's the fat man.
Maybe I think
mixed
he's
the two.
self-conscious and he's all like, "Stop calling me."
He's like, I was talking about the bomb, not me. All
I know
right.
he's constantly like, "Let me tell you about this thing."
I'm like, well, don't look at me. He's the one with the licorice.
Yeah, that licorice hurts a treasure it. Oh, he's so gross.
He's got like a creeper.
There's some long ass licorice though. This is a pretty long piece.
Those are
though.
like a Twizzler.
It
huh?
was definitely a
Twizzlers.
Twizzler.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I don't know. It was dark too. It seemed like it was a black licorice. No.
No,
was
it's
it
strawberry.
I thought it was just like a-
right?
Oh,
I think so.
was
I
it
don't
red?
know.
Oh.
Is licorice strawberry flavored normally? I've always thought. I guess I've always considered it like a cherry.
Licorice. Oh, I've always I think considered it as like its own flavor.
Maybe I don't know.
I guess
don't know.
whenever
Doesn't it
I
have
eat, I
black
guess when I
licorice,
eat a
which is
red
what?
vine. Oh, it's supposed to be like blueberry, isn't it?
Is
I don't know. No, it tastes like something else.
I've
I
never
can't-
had black
can't-
licorice.
I've had
No?
it. It's okay. It's not the
I like.
best.
It's kind of like
I
I
can't
think.
explain what the fuck
I
it's
think
supposed
if
to
you
be.
What does
like
a red
Dr.
wine
Pepper,
taste like?
you'll like black licorice.
Oh.
Huh.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
if
I don't
you
know
like
if I
it.
would like.
Attribute both those
Attribute-
flavors
yeah.
together. I just feel like I know I'm not a fan.
The Twizzlers.
No, Twizzlers is awful.
I
Like,
don't
if you're gonna do
mind.
licorice, go red vines.
I like both.
I kind of don't mind a Twizzler if it is like a.
The
if it's
little
a
mini
small-
ones?
Yes, if it's the
The
mini
little mini
ones.
ones?
The mini ones are kind
They're
of like
so waxy.
they
No.
are, but it's like it's because they're mini. Like if I eat a whole one, I can't eat a whole one, but I could eat a mini one.
Yeah, I can do a snack
Like
size.
a
Give me
small
snack size.
I
yeah.
can do
Licorice.
3 snack size.
Yeah, Benish, you got any snack size ones?
Just don't lick
them.
this one. That was so gross.
So then they load up the bomb and then they're gonna go outside to see
Yeah, everybody
everybody
just
goes
like,
outside.
but I
And
guess the
then-
government goes along with their plan though.
I'm
Like
surprised.
I feel, yeah.
Oh, everything you mentioned that Rembrandt comes in because he
Yeah.
talks to the Reverend. He
Oh.
goes like, "I'm gonna."
Oh, that's right.
I'm
They
gonna
didn't
go
show it.
talk. I have to go see my friends. It's okay if I leave. And the Reverend's like, "Oh yeah," and then he asks the lady if he wants to come with him.
Oh,
But she's
yeah.
like,
She's
"No,
like,
it's
"No."
okay. I'll stay here."
yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, thanks for everything."
Yeah. We also get to see these huge ass bread rolls.
Oh,
They're
Bread
were
just-
they?
rolls?
I didn't even
they look like they're
notice.
supposed to be rolls, or like they just seem like too big of a bread roll. And I'm like, this is huge.
Like
as
instead of,
hell.
I think you're thinking.
It looks
you're
like
thinking
this
of-
size.
Really?
Like it's this size.
Maybe it was like a big cornbread.
I don't know. It was like a bread bowl, like some kind of weird bread bowl.
Sounded like it was a jambalaya
A bread roll. It's not like
right?
a bread roll.
A bread roll.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
it just
I
looks
didn't
like a
think
huge
about
bread
that.
I didn't even pay attention to the food.
It was just a weird portion size. I'm like, it was basically all bread. The food they're giving out is just a roll
soup.
and lettuce. All I saw was really the roll and the lettuce. You get lettuce in a roll. And I was like, this is
You know what? Maybe it's like one of those things where it's like you get the roll, you get the lettuce, and then you get maybe a little side of like soup or
what is a
maybe
soup
like
kitchen?
pasta.
I think.
Super salad.
Super salad. Or like no
Yeah.
pasta, because I guess that kind of goes like a bread roll.
I
with
guess so.
pasta.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
What
for
are they
last
serving here?
last day on the world food. You think they would maybe get a little bit more exquisite with it, exquisite with it?
Now here's the
You know?
question: are some people doing this? Do you think just to get
Into
last
heaven?
points? Into
Oh,
heaven?
damn
They're all
right!
like, it's the last
This
hour.
This is it. This is my
guys.
chance to get
I
in.
know.
Well, technically that's true. I think all you'd have to do is pray, and you'd be good.
Yeah,
You'd be
I
locked
guess.
in.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, it's probably a combination of that and like people like
Just
don't
trying to-
have anywhere else to go.
But yeah, so they
Yeah.
get the bomb, and also they get the bomb. So they talk about how the bombs or the missile from. Well, no. So the missile they said is in
The missile has the bomb in it.
Andrews Air Force Base,
Uh-huh.
which is in Maryland.
Mm-hmm. We got a
okay.
long trip to get that bottle.
Yeah, like I'm like, and they're in San Francisco, so
They probably
like,
fly it over there.
Yeah.
They have to fly
Like
it
this
over
plan
there.
was like set into motion. I feel
Look,
like
they
as soon
put
as
it
they brought it to the government, they were like,
on a
"Deal, let's
G5
do it."
Yeah.
jet. And
I think
flew
it's
it
once
over
again like
there.
one of those like it's last second. We'll try anything we
Like,
can.
might as well.
Yeah, I'm sure
True.
they probably put all their resources into getting that over
They,
there.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was so against using these bombs, and then they were like, "I guess."
Well, it's the last
do
day.
it.
Once,
Yeah.
I guess.
So then they're on the street, and then Rembrandt, they're all back together, and then the bomb it goes, and then it looks like it didn't work for a second there.
I do enjoy like the science behind that, where it's because in the movie in Oppenheimer you get that same scene too, where they set off the bomb and then there's nothing, and then you have to like wait, and then you finally get like the impact of the explosion. Like you get to see the impact of that
okay.
explosion.
Yeah, and then it worked,
Because Arturo was like, "No, it like hit," and
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh,
and then you see the flash.
yeah."
And then you see like the thing like just like explode, and then they did it.
Yeah, they did. They
Although-
saved the world again.
That comet's now turning. I guess you just hope that the rest of those pieces of the comet then
Are, like, small enough.
just, like, burn up in the
disintegrate,
atmosphere,
burn up
yeah.
before they get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just hope that like it's small enough pieces. If it gets right to the earth or like to the
Yeah.
ground, like
There's a
it's
pretty
open.
good chance someone's getting hit by that. Like
I
at least like
know.
some towns definitely.
But I
get hit.
guess not as much as.
Oh, it's like the whole world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm like, there's at least that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I forget what happens. There's like something happens. So it's like
Oh, this is when
Where-
when that
where
Oh,
explosion happens, the paper falls out.
from like
falls
his
from his
jacket
pocket.
for some weird
and then
reason.
Benish sees it and puts it in his pocket.
Maybe it kind of gives the idea of like what is supposed to happen in that world will happen in
It's
that world.
going to happen
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
You're right. Like you can't get away from.
Oh, you
fate.
think Benish is gonna blow up the?
Because it was just
planet?
well, I was just like, how did that paper just like fall? I would
don't
imagine
know.
he
They had
put it
tucked
in a pocket in there.
He did put it in a pocket. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
think
then
it has to
just,
be
like,
one of those
and
things
then all
where
of a
it's like
sudden it's
the
just like,
world.
well, maybe
It's just meant. To
So then
happen.
like
the world was like
yeah, so
meant to have the bomb.
So Benish finds it, and then they take off to go get ready to slide out of there, and then Quinn's all like, I hope you're like, what does he tell him? He tells him like, about just like
and then he's like
about leaving that kind of like power like in
just
Benish's
like
hands.
there.
Like, don't worry, I thought of that.
And then of course Benish, we forgot to mention Benish gets all the credit.
Yeah.
Nothing
Oh
gets
yeah,
mentioned.
he's in.
He did absolutely nothing.
All he
Yeah.
did was drink cream soda and eat licorice.
and pee. But I listen to music, I guess. Put on music.
Yeah. So then they slide out of there.
And then we go
He
back
realizes
to-
he doesn't have the.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
realized
yeah.
he didn't have it,
He
and
just
then
kinda goes
didn't
through.
have time to like look for it, so they just had to slide out of there.
And then we go
Yeah.
back to Benish, and he like takes out the plan. He puts it down.
And he puts it all like back together. He's like a rock star.
You know, he
now.
says that. He says a line. He goes,
they can't mess with us now. Like,
Oh,
they can't mess with us
yeah.
now or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, oh god,
And
like
do that zoom into the Einstein photo he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's where the episode ends.
and that's
I think.
it. They're on to the next
So the
world.
next world.
So 2 things I looked up, right?
Mm.
Because after they leave Mooney's
Moons. What? I
What's
forget the
it,
name
like,
of the stores. Like
Electronic
Mooney's
Emporium
Electronics,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Rembrandt makes that. This is what I found this interesting. Rembrandt makes that comment. He reads that newspaper. He's like, Ivan Boesky bought up all of like Beverly Hills for like 10 grand, and now they all want their houses back.
That's right. Yeah.
So I looked up who that was. So apparently he was a stock trader in the 80s, and he was convicted of inside trading. But he is also he coined the phrase "greed is good." Which we saw in that episode, Greed is Sexy, remember? So I thought that was interesting. And then I looked up to see if Andrew's base was an actual base. And it is.
Oh, and that was the one you said it was in Maryland?
Yeah, it's in Maryland. So apparently back in 2009, it did join with the Naval Air Facility. So now its full name is a really long name. It's Joint Base Andrews Naval Air Facility, Washington. But I guess that's where the president flies in and out of. That's where.
Oh, really? That's where Air Force One is?
Yeah, which apparently Air Force One is. They're two. It's a Boeing plane. It's a Boeing, right? There's two separate ones, and it's only called Air Force One when the president is in there.
Oh,
is what it said.
So is it just called a Boeing?
I guess it's just like a regular plane, but when like the president's on there, it's Air Force One.
So then any plane he's in is considered Air Force One?
Well, no, they only ever use because that base houses two Boeing airplanes, and that's what they use for him. I was like, oh, interesting.
I would like to. I forgot to mention, but when Rembrandt's introducing himself, they make that joke about like Rembrandt, like the painter. And he's like, Rembrandt, like Rembrandt,
like the singer.
Oh, like the singer. Okay, that's what he said.
Like me, the singer.
I wonder if Rembrandt doesn't exist in this world, just like Wade's parents don't, which means Wade.
I'm assuming, or maybe he just isn't a singer.
Maybe.
And also, like, is he a popular singer? Like, I couldn't know that was like the idea that he really is a popular singer in their world. Like, I know he's part of the Four Tops, right?
Yeah, I think he was a successful singer. But that kind of like
after the breakup,
their old
style.
Yeah, he's just kind of like an oldie now.
Yeah,
but he's trying to like resurface.
Yeah,
but
it's a dying artist.
But overall, what did you guys think of the episode?
I liked it.
It was another interesting episode where they kind of go into like a certain idea.
Yeah,
again, where it's
and they kind of like bring like real history into it, like with the atomic bomb and everything. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I liked Rembrandt's like storyline in there, where he's like kind of like hopeless and then decides like, well,
I'm gonna party that.
No,
it's like never mind. This party's too crazy.
He's just kind of like, you know what, like he can still have some sort of like root, even in this like world that he doesn't know.
Yeah,
but it was good. It had another like moral quandary.
Yeah.
So in the last world, they brought into it something that heals, but in this world, they brought in something that destroys.
Oh yeah. Trade off, man.
I know.
And then in this one, you only saw one world.
Yeah.
No multiple.
Just Armageddon world. That's it.
Isn't it the assumption then that they came from the past world, last episode's world, to this world?
To this one. From Cannibal Island to this
is it from Cannibal to this? Or is
I don't know.
Else?
It's these first few episodes are like kind of all over the place. I actually had a listener message us on Instagram. It's Worlds Within Margins, and he was talking about how they were out of order, like we're doing them out of order. But I just told him because we're doing it in the order that like everybody else could see them. Because the only way you get, I guess Fox had messed around with the order of the episodes because they wanted more of the action-packed episodes. So you'll notice their clothes don't match up sometimes. Like they'll be jumping into one world when they were wearing clothes from a previous episode. So if you want to like see them in the full, if you want them in the full like order that they're supposed to be seen in, it's this box set from was it I'm sorry, I forget the name of the production company. Mill Creek Entertainment. They actually put the episodes in the correct order that they're supposed to be seen in.
So this is the way that they were shot and the way that they were meant to go, but Peacock has it the way that they
aired.
So I guess they were aired out of order.
The studio decided.
Are you in order or are you out of order yet? Are you still in order right now?
Well, I'm the way that we're doing it.
Yeah, so if you're watching it on Peacock.
I'm seeing it still the way that it aired, in the order that they aired.
Yeah,
but they aired it in a wrong order.
Okay.
So like I guess Fever is actually supposed to be like the 4th episode.
Really? Oh.
Or 3rd.
Yeah, I forget the
4th.
exact
So
order.
it's the pilot and then 2 other episodes and then Fever. So
Uh-huh.
Fever is actually the 4th episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the way that they aired it, it was
Yeah,
the
second
second
the
episode.
studio wanted to like grab more people with like the more of the action-packed episodes, so that's the way they did it. And then I think the next episode for us is going to be, what was it? I believe it is
The Wales, Prince of Wales.
Prince of Wales. Yes, Prince of Wales is next. Yeah, so that'll be episode 5. No, I'm sorry, episode 4. Episode 4.
5 if you're on Peacock.
5 if you're on Peacock.
Well, no, I think Peacock is right. I think I was going off.
No, but Peacock,
Peacock
on
splits the
has
pilot.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
pilot,
that's
yeah.
right. I'm sorry. 5 if you're on Peacock, and if you're watching it like on DVD or something, it's 4. It's episode 4. Yeah.
I'm like, instead of episode numbers, we should just strictly go episode names because it is
Yeah.
like so confusing.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What would you guys do if you find out you have 2 days?
Left to live.
Well, yeah. What do you do?
I
don't know.
Whose
I
path
don't
are you
know.
taking?
Of
You
the
going
3 choices,
straight
Arturo?
I guess
Arturo?
Arturo. Arturo seems like the most morally right thing to do.
Those
I'm
two.
like, I've seen an episode of Sliders. I think I know what you guys.
Lunch
Do you guys
weird
know
bomb.
Einstein?
You
Can
know-
we just recreate what he did?
Can we just launch a big nuke at it? Which I'm sure the government would have been like, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We watched the Sliders too.
Good job. Good job. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, like the nuclear bombs we have now are way more powerful than like nuclear bomb used in Oppenheimer.
Oh, I'm
and,
sure.
Yeah, like way
originally.
more. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You see, although Arturo seems like the most stubborn
Mhm.
of them all,
Cares
he
the
seems
most.
to be. He's still like, you could tell like he still has good moral compass always.
Yeah.
But I still feel like my favorite character so far is still Rembrandt.
Really, I really like Arturo. I think I enjoy because he has that personality of like he kind of seems like he's mean and dick, but he's really a kind soul. I feel like he's a good person.
Is it like in the later
He's a
episodes?
good person.
There's a lot of good
he
stuff.
can be jerky, but he's a good person.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rembrandt I think is still my favorite.
You
so
like
far.
Rembrandt?
Yeah.
I like Quinn. Quinn's my favorite.
Poor
I do wish I tried to search around, and I'm like, I wonder if I could do my own. I was trying to see if there were personality quizzes.
Mhm.
If
See
anyone
which
had
slider?
ever created one for
Like which
sliders,
slider's
who am
character?
I? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I'm a Rembrandt, but what about
They're
I'm
all-
actually an Arturo?
You're the cab driver.
I know.
Do you see him?
I don't
I feel
know
like
if
you
we
do
see him.
see-
You have to,
people.
right? There are people. You know what?
Yeah.
You know who I'm waiting for is I hope we see the boss, his boss, his
Oh,
dick of a
his
boss.
Oh,
Kinda
well,
like come back. That'd
yeah,
be
we
cool.
saw him in.
Oh, is
he was in the
was in the other
Soviet one.
Soviet world?
Yeah, Soviet
Oh,
world.
okay.
He was the one that was watching the TV.
Oh, okay.
And then
I'm sure you have to see
I'm
him.
sure we'll
just have
see.
to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know, we are on Instagram at Sliding Through Dimensions, and also on YouTube at Sliding Through Dimensions. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a video podcast available on YouTube. Yeah, so we'll see you guys 2 weeks.
In the next world.
Yeah, in the next row. I'll see you guys in the next row.